as I know. Is this sick? Let's see here. Let's see if I can bring up the chat. Live chat.
Oh,
hey guys.
Hold on, something's going on.
I'm here? You can see me?
I can.
I can't see me on the one that I've been waiting in.
Refresh.
I'll refresh it. I'll refresh it. Well, hi there. How are you guys doing? I brought our good friend Nipper here to hang out with us today. He's not thrilled with my existence. Here, just a second. I'm going to make sure this is all coming through.
It's good quality.
Oh, snap! We have been working so hard to get this to happen. It looks like the quality is going to be good for us. Welcome back. It is so fun to be live streaming, and for the first time really with any sort of quality at all from Clint's reptile room. I'm so glad that you guys can be here, especially because there's so many cool creatures. Look at this grumpy fellow. Let's see, I might have to cover my face so I can focus on here. Focus. He's not a happy camper. I'm gonna put him back away here in just a second. But I thought I should give you a peek at Mr. Nipper. But my goodness, after a year of social distancing with Clint, it's been crazy being away this long and not having this interaction with you guys. I'm really excited about this. There's so many cool things going on here, so many new creatures you guys haven't even seen before. We're filming a video about something that lives here that you guys, unless you follow us on Instagram, have never seen. And there's so much going on. You can see Greeny Miracle, that's his enclosure right down there. There's the dart frogs. We got carpet pythons. There's Ty. I've gone with the name Ty, the spiny-tailed iguana, the pied pectinata from Iguana Land. There's so much to be excited about here. But I know I have a ton of questions, and I'm sure they're going to lead to looking at all kinds of cool things here today. Plus, we got to hear how Jason and Michelle are doing. They're here for a live stream for the first time in forever. Yay for vaccines! All right, so anyway, let's get going. Here, I'm going to put Mr. Nipper away while Jason reads our first question.
Okay, we'll jump into some Patreon questions.
Patreon questions already?
Yeah.
All right, I'm back.
Okay, we'll jump in and out of Patreon.
We'll jump in and out of Patreon. We're going to be all over the place.
Do you want to tell them about Patreon?
Well, maybe you should tell them about Patreon. You haven't gotten to tell them about Patreon in a long time.
Yeah, but this is your show.
This is our show, Jason.
Patreon is awesome. We love our patrons at Patreon, and we try to pay it forward to them by giving them extra content. It's kind of ridiculous how much content ends up getting into the extra content.
And a lot of times it's like some of the most fun stuff, really.
It's fun. It's fun. So I'm listening to myself and I hate that. All right. So Patreon is awesome. If you guys want to support Clint's Reptiles, that is probably the most effective way to do it. If you can't support us that way, we totally understand. But and just keep watching our videos. That's another way to support us. So our first question comes from Hedrigal, and Hedrigal says, have you had any success with breeding emerald tree skinks yet? If so, do you have any tips for other prospective breeders?
Well, as you know, I got eggs a while back, and due to an incubation problem where my incubator spiked, I lost the eggs. Currently, I mean, my pair is doing great. There's a good chance there are eggs in there. I've learned that they don't seem to cannibalize their offspring, so I am no longer digging up their enclosure looking for eggs. And so hopefully they are in there, incubating away. I'm just trying to keep my soil at a really good moisture level. But there are people who've been doing it a lot and for a long time, so I would recommend consult with them. And I will let you know when I'm having more success. I am getting more females, though. So that's very exciting news.
Let's see. Broen Ellis says, would you ever consider letting Gus have babies with Allie from Snake Discovery?
Oh.
Is that the...
This would be like Tegu royalty. Let me get Gus for a second. Because he is like begging to come out. Hey Gus. Hey buddy, how you doing? Huh? You're such a good guy. So, for the record, my friend Matt Jepson has a glorious female tegu, and we are considering pairing Gus this year. In fact, probably almost any time now. It makes me a little bit nervous because sometimes female tegus beat up the males when they get tired of being hassled. We're not going to leave them together. We would do supervised introductions. So hopefully nothing would happen to Mr. Gusserton. But it is a possibility. And yeah, Wisconsin's kind of to Mr. Gusserton. But it is a possibility. And yeah, Wisconsin's kind of a long way away for a visit. But we are planning to go up there, though, for their big grand opening, which I've heard now might be all the way in July. We'll have to talk about that more. I'm just springing that on the rest of my team right now. But, oh, I'm going to get Gus away because he's checking out some rubber bands. Come here, Gus, you're done. Say goodbye, buddy. He's so great. Okay.
The crowd's going wild for Gus.
Because he's magnificent.
Let's switch over to Super Chat. And
Super Chat?
do we have?
I don't have my Super Chat button. That's still at
You
home.
had one job. Clint.
Yeah, and all I spent it on was making sure that we could actually get this stream to work.
One job.
Now, but today I get to do Super Chat, and I get to see your live response, which has always been my favorite thing about saying Super Chat.
Super Chat. All right. Jonathan McCarthy says, my 3-year-old Owen is your biggest fan and would love a shutout.
Well, hi there, Owen. Thanks for being such a big fan. You know my son's name is Owen too? No big deal. So you've got a great name. And we picked it honestly because we liked it and we didn't know any Owens. And now I know like a bajillion Owens. So I think we set a trend.
It's all you.
Yeah, some of them are older than our Owen, but still they copied us.
But you started.
Yes, started now.
Let's see. Carolyn Little sent a super chat.
Super Chat.
That says, my son is 2 and loves watching your videos. He is a huge reptile lover and his favorite is any snake. Could you give him a shout out, please?
What was his name?
His name is Emmerich.
Emmerich?
Yeah.
Emmerich, hi. I should get you a snake. Sit tight, because I had one just shed today. I got to watch him do it. Are you ready? This is a good snake. You guys are going to like him. You know him. You know him. Oh, by the way, I got my 5th snake bite this week. Not from this one. This was number 3. He's like, oh, you look so glorious. Oh my goodness. How freakishly beautiful are you? Can I borrow you? Can I borrow you? Oh, you're such a good boy. You're such a good boy.
So it looks like Rye Price. They're asking if you have any online classes for kids. They met you in Phoenix, and the kids loved meeting you.
Online classes for kids? So, depends on what kind of classes you're talking about. The classes that I teach are university level. But I've been making a lot of science videos lately. And so we actually have a whole channel called Clint Explains that's full of some science videos, if that's the kind of thing they're looking for. They're usually short and full of animations and kind of fun. So that's kind of...
Or you could also schedule a live with Clint. If you go to our
Yeah, you could do that. You could do a face-to-face, and I would be glad to talk about basically any subject I know anything about. And I would be happy to hear about subjects I know nothing about, because I get to see you too. You guys know this guy, though? This is Mr. Shelby. And Emmerich?
Emmerich, I think.
Yes.
Emmerich! Snake shout out with Shelby. He's such a good boy. Doesn't he look unbelievably spectacular? Every time he sheds, he just gets more and more glorious. False water cobras, when they first hatch, I find them very unexceptional. But then by the time that they're adults, they're, I think, stupendously exceptional. And I love him. Another one that just shed that is quite exceptional every time she sheds is our Peruvian longtail boa. I'll get her in a little bit because she's so great. But anyway,
The next super chat is from Mr. and Mrs.
Morelia?
That is correct.
Yay!
They say, welcome back. Hope this becomes the new regular live stream.
Yeah, well, we will just have to see. We'll have to see how many people can make it today, and if this is a good time. We just don't know yet how often we're going to be doing this, or when our next one is. But this is a cool time because we usually film on Thursday evenings, and so we're all together anyway, and we're just meeting here a little bit extra early. And so we will just have to see. Oh, look, he's hooding a little bit, which I would rather he weren't, because I don't know why he's doing that. Oh, I think you guys make him a little nervous. And that makes me a little nervous. So I am going to go put him away. I'll be right back. Yay! Everybody wins! Okay. That was the whole message from Mr. and Mrs. Morelia?
Yes.
Perfect.
Let's see. Sherry LBW.
Yay, Sherry!
Sent a super chat saying, glad to see you back on live. Hope to see more.
It is so cool just, hearing all these familiar names. It's like seeing all these familiar faces, but mine's the only face they can see, and which is why you should schedule a face-to-face.
Yes.
I've actually met many of you guys before.
Let's see. We have one from All Canadian Reptile Girl, but the message went away, so I don't know what All Canadian Reptile
It just disappeared?
Girl. It says message retracted, so
Undo. Hopefully we hear from you again soon.
We have another super chat.
Super chat!
From Steve-O.
Gets him every time.
Steve-O says, love the videos. What's the best way to sell getting a blue tongue skink for my wife? We have a crested gecko, but she's scared of the bite of the blue.
Oh, you should get her around some blue tongues. Sit tight.
Basically, if you want to see an animal, just ask him about it.
This is the joy of doing this. I've worked too hard to get this at the reptile room to not be showing off cool animals. You just need to get around some blue tongues. I will tell you, babies are often a little bit bitey. I've never been bitten by a blue tongue skink, but I mean, you can. They're kind of quick and they'll open their mouth. They let you know when they're feeling grumpy, and you just kind of avoid that head. But I mean, then it's just a potato lizard. No reason to be afraid of a potato lizard.
Okay. Next up is from Johnny R. Johnny says, be honest now, how excited are you about your upcoming intro to Dungeons and Dragons?
Oh,
Leisha made us do it.
yes, they scheduled a face-to-face specifically with the purpose of having me play Dungeons and Dragons, which is, as maybe you've noticed, I am somewhat inclined towards all things nerdy. Okay, but I have to draw some lines for myself. So World of Warcraft and Dungeons and Dragons have always been the places where I have drawn the line, and they're taking that line from me. Who knows how far I'll go now? Soon I'll be LARPing with Will.
Your wife, Why Not Me, is in the chat.
Oh, she's the best!
Let's see, All Canadian Reptile Girl
She showed up.
got
All right,
back to
we
us.
get to find out.
She says, hi Clint, my Maclots Python says he misses you. Wants to virtually see you again.
Let's do that. If only there was a way.
Why don't you tell people how there is a
Yeah,
way?
that's right. If you would like to come here to the reptile room and visit and hang out and do like this, except we can move around, look at all kinds of things, talk about anything, and I can hear from you just as well as you can hear from me. I love seeing all of your creatures, hearing about the questions that you have. Like, it is honestly so much fun. If you've done this before, talk about it in the chat. Please come. Schedule a live face-to-face. It is the best. And honestly, they are what allowed the reptile room to survive COVID. They're the only thing that allowed the reptile room to survive COVID. And since we've stopped doing the live streams, I think the number of people signing up has kind of declined, which makes sense. But we still need it. So please consider coming to visit.
Somebody mentioned the fact that you have 45-foot tongs. I'm assuming
Aren't those the best? Yeah.
not quite 45 foot, but
If you get the angle just right, they're about 45 feet. Look at those things. Look at them. So, at my house for feeding things, I have, I think they're like 14 or 18-inch tongs, somewhere in there. They're long enough that's fine for me. But I thought I want to let other people, when they come here, also feed animals, and I need them to be at a distance that I know that somebody not very trained in the feeding of animals can handle. And so these are the tongs that I purchased. I do find them a tad unwieldy, so I would actually like, well, I've got some smaller, just like giant tweezers that I use. They're also hanging up back there. Those are what I use most of the time when I'm feeding stuff, but I use these when I feed big boas. Still, Gus, you nut. He knows how to open the doors on his enclosure, and I've secured it so he can't, but he remembers.
okay. Sean P sent a super chat
Super chat.
saying, "Welcome back. I picked up a Plains hognose a couple of weeks ago, and he is delightful. Great eater, and it is hilarious to watch him eat. He
Yes.
doesn't strike, just kind of politely noms."
Yeah, like a baby bird. You just have to point noses into their faces.
Could you do that one more time?
Yeah, it's something like this. In you go.
Good. All right. We have another super chat.
Super chat.
These.
No smile even.
This. Sorry, I was focusing. I was
Concentrating.
concentrating.
I gotta get him when he gets his focus back.
I was concentrating on the symbol, which is pounds. So they must be in the UK, or no, it does. It says it right there. Hey, Clint. This is from Big Pappy Cheeto. Hey, Clint. My first stream, I just wanted to say thanks for all the videos. You've helped me through lockdown in the UK. All the best.
Oh, thank you so much. You're very, very welcome. I'm glad you can join us. Yeah, let us know about this time. This is about 4.5 hours later in the day than we were doing it. I think for people like in Asia and Europe, this is probably not as good of a time. Maybe better for people in the Americas. I don't know. We'll keep playing with it. But I'm so glad you could be here.
Why not me sent a super chat, which I'm gonna just ignore. Next up.
Why?
I'm
So
scared now.
Leisha says, "Michelle and Jason, I want you on the camera right now, please."
All right. It's a super chat. You can't say no.
I'm pretty sure I can.
You guys just come smile. You guys have been in a whole video, you recall?
Yeah, grudgingly, I believe is the term.
Yes, and it was the best. Best performing video we've ever made.
That is absolutely.
Yeah, I think it's actually one of the worst.
Hi.
We've now doomed this video, apparently. No, wait, that one had Will also. Maybe Will is... Yeah, again, Will's also in the genetics videos, which have also not done well. So, I think we know what the problem is.
All right.
What we need is Pit Plum.
He would love that.
We should have a whole video hosted by Pit Plum. About parrots.
Oh my god.
That would be something. Let's see. Anthony Simone says,
Anthony!
"Welcome back to live streaming, my friend."
Well, I'm so glad that you could be here to join us.
Let's see. That sci-fi nerd sent a super chat saying, "Good day. Greetings from Australia."
Well, good night to you.
Okay, this entire answer has to be with that accent.
Different accent. I've been practicing.
I'm new here, but you're already my favorite content creator on the internet. My Stimson's Python says hi.
Well, and I say hi right back. I'd love to know your Stimson's Python's name. And thank you so much. That is such a ginormous compliment because the internet is a big place. Is it not?
I hear it's worldwide.
Wow.
Oh boy.
Okay. Mr. and Mrs. Moralia.
Moralia. We've
say-
even got a Moralia python right behind me. No big deal.
What?
Yeah,
That's the name of it?
that's the genus
Ah.
for carpets and green trees.
Interesting.
Nice.
Let's see. Video idea. They said to super chat. Video idea. Top 5 reptiles that bit Clint.
Oh, whoa.
I'm pretty sure that the missus got bit by one particular snake 5 times, which happens to be her favorite.
Let's see. Yeah. So, I would have to think about what would even go on that list. There are only 5 possible snakes that could go on it because I've only been bitten by 5 snakes. I've been bitten by it's pets.
Top 5 reptiles.
Reptiles. So my children are
technically-
off the list.
Technically, it would be all the lizards that have bit you.
Yeah. Well, and I've been bitten by a number of lizards.
Yeah.
Mostly crested geckos. They are surprising to you, you know, because most of the time they're delightful, and every now and then, especially the males, they go through like a 6-month phase where they're like, anything that reaches into my enclosure, I'm gonna bite it. And I haven't ever had this happen to me, but it seems like a fair amount of the time they bite it in the same way that they bite behind the head of the ladies, and then they
What?
they
Really?
yes they do.
Wow.
All the way. That's all I have to say about that.
Which reptile was that again?
Crested geckos.
All right. You're just giving off those pheromones, I guess.
Oh, absolutely.
All right. Another super chat.
Super chat!
From Lady Geckofoot says, I picked up
These are the best names. Where do you guys get these names?
They're great.
I picked up a blue-tongued skink and multiple tarantulas from Great Basin Serpentarium. They were
You've chosen
awesome,
wisely.
and my blue tongue is extremely friendly when he is hungry.
Even when he's hungry, or only when he's hungry. Well, I think you've chosen very, very wisely. Like Great Basin. In fact, my blue-tongued skink Peaches just had her first litter at Great Basin Serpentarium, so that was very exciting. They do amazing work, especially with blue tongues and gidgeys and all sorts of monitor lizards. Really, they breed like everything, but tarantulas and blue tongues, I think, are I think they would agree, some of their speciality.
Okay, Zach Bell sent a super chat saying, my new 8-month-old hognose bites my leather-gloved hand every time I take her out of her tub. Will regularly handling her break this habit?
That's a really good question. Seems like a lot of hogs just kind of go through a grumpy phase. I've never really had hogs that bite for any reason other than food response. So you'd have to let me know why she's doing this. And if she is biting out of food response, then probably you need to do something to indicate to her. The thing is, it might just be that leather smells delicious. And she might not do that to your actual hand. But I would use a tiny little snake hook to differentiate feeding time from handling time. Gus, you nut? He's like, I want to be on TV. All right.
All right.
But you're coming to this side. Oh, buddy. You coming? Come on.
Come on, Gus. People are going crazy for you. Not so much?
Oh, I'll wait.
Okay.
I left the enclosure open. When he decides to start wandering out the other side, then we can talk.
Let's do a super chat. A
Super
duper
Super
chat.
duper chat. I think Anthony's was a super duper chat. Wasn't it?
That's-
Super duper chat.
That's exactly
Super
the
duper
one.
duper chat.
Yep.
Jason's never been here for one of those before.
By Anthony Simone. He says, so my friend, how did your 5th snake bite happen? Hope you're all right. Looking forward to coming out to Utah soon. Looking forward to seeing you, the family, and the room soon.
All right. I will get the culprit right now. Okay, and then we will talk all about how my 5th snake bite, which, let's see how well you can see it. There's not too much left of it. It happened on Monday, but there's the worst of it down there, but it wrapped all the way around my hand. So you know it's at least somewhat sizable. Oh, Gus, okay. But before we get to that, I gotta get Gus out because he's now to where I asked him to go. Gusserton! Hey, buddy.
Oh, you're a good boy. You're a good boy.
Yes. He's so grand. Ooh, good roll. Hey, buddy. Hi. No, you're a good boy. You're a good boy. There's Mr. Gusserton. He's so good. He's like, I just want to be on TV. There's no food in there, though, is there? All right. Okay, guys. Come here. Good boy. Whoa. There you go. There you go.
Do you have the link to Clint Explains? People are asking for that link.
Oh.
Yes, I have it here. I don't like the setup because I can't pay attention to super chats and the live chat simultaneously. It's a little frustrating.
Okay. I'm gonna not do what I did to get myself bitten the other day. Hopefully.
I'm excited to hear this. I haven't heard the story yet.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever yet, have you?
What is that?
I saw the Instagram post
Okay.
and I made assumptions. Based on the history of your other
I've never
bites.
been bitten in this way before.
Oh, okay, never mind then.
This is an all new bite.
Exciting.
It was a little bit related because again, I was not paying full attention to the snake because I was paying attention to a person.
Andreas, I am with you. I shall make it happen.
What are you talking about?
She says, I want to see open Pillsbury dough products again.
Oh, yes.
That's what Jason lives for. Hey, girl. Okay. So this is the culprit. Let's see. She's 12 years old. She's only bitten twice. Me once and Richard Bilbo once. Richard is the one that had her for most of her life. And he never bit her until the day he gave her to me. He never bit her ever. She never bit him until the day he gave her to me. But this is Minnie. And she's my female Brazilian rainbow boa. And she was hungry. And I normally tap train her. So, I'll usually give her a little bit of warning with a snake hook or at the very least my hand. Then I'm going to pick her up and then I go get her. Well, I was talking to a person and, she's never tried to bite me. And I was just getting her out really fast because she's going into my pocket. Stop that. Anyway, I have a snake belt now. But well, she was not all on top of herself and her head was pointed away from me, which is usually a pretty good scenario. What I didn't realize was how hungry she was. And so I reached in there and just to grab her. I didn't tap her first. I just reached in to grab her. And she, from pointing away from me, just whipped her head back around and grabbed my hand. And I could see it coming, but I wasn't fast enough to get my hand out of there because I had a handful of her. And she totally got me as cleanly as she wanted to. She didn't coil me, which I appreciate because it was definitely a feeding type response. And we didn't let that be like the reason that she didn't come out to see us. So, after that, I got her out properly. I took my time and I tap trained her and I got her out. And then we had she was out for like a long time being handled by people, no problems. It was just that I didn't let her know that this wasn't food and she's hungry. And I've actually learned very recently a really cool trick with boas because I've always been a little like, how often should I be feeding my boas? Boas are an easy thing to overfeed. And I've learned a new trick that I'm going to stick with because sometimes you see it. Until your boas are sort of on point when you open up their enclosure where they're like, ooh, is this food? Don't feed them. And once you see them do that, feed them like the next day. And that seems like a good policy. And so she was definitely in that mode, but I was going too fast to pay attention to what mode she was in. And I got myself bitten, and I totally deserved it.
Let's see, Michelle, or Alicia says that it's lagging. She's also saying lizard on the wall by the tongs. There's a lizard. Holy cow!
There surely is.
How did it get out?
Oh, whoa! This is greatish news.
It landed on the
One
leaves.
moment, please.
Do you need help? You want me to take the snake?
Well, yes and no. I don't think we have time for that. Thank you, Alicia.
Thank you, Alicia, and everyone else that said lizard on the wall. That I was like,
random.
what are you guys talking
I
about?
was wondering what you might think. This is great news.
Why is it great news?
I'll tell you in a minute.
All right.
This is a great live stream, best live stream ever. Leisha, 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 Leisha. Oh, hooray!
Lizard on the wall.
Hooray! 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 Here, I'm gonna switch animals real quick. Oh, this is a great best live stream ever!
You're gonna have to update us.
Yeah,
Oh, I will. There's the story.
we figured.
Okay. Let's see. Who said this? Basilisk 420 says Clint and his snake belt capturing a lizard. You could have only done it with the powers of your snake belt. Oh my goodness.
Hey, give me a moment. These guys only do what they want to do. Are you coming?
Lizard on the wall. What's everybody talking about?
That is the best news.
That's too funny.
Okay. Yay! Yay! Okay. So this is Jade. Jade is not a wall lizard. Let's see here. Let me get my player up to current time. Oh yeah, live. So that you guys can see me now? Yeah, okay. So this is Jade. And Jade is one of my two really long-term captive emerald tree skinks. And I love the heck out of her. And I've probably told you all quite a lot that this is like the best pet lizard ever, but this is the best pet lizard ever. And at the Wasatch Reptile Expo, I got myself a second female, which I'm really, really excited about. And I'm even more excited because somebody that I met there is going to actually be getting 2 more females for here in the room. So we're gonna have a total of 4 females and only 1 Peter. He's gonna be a busy fellow, poor guy. Anyway, I have, so Jade, you can see what a delight she is. If she gets away from me, you know, which never happens, but if I put her on the ground, she'll come and climb up my leg. Like, it's like that. Same thing goes with Peter. Peter is exactly the same way. But they were very shy right at first. And at the expo, I got a brand new female. And she has been great. She's been eating for me really well. She's been just delightful. Now, you might remember actually on one of the days of one of our live streams, Greenie Miracle, who's over there, our emerald tree monitor, who honestly, I got the emerald tree skinks because they reminded me so much of emerald tree monitors and their behavior, but I could actually afford them. And so anyway, when I got him, I was gonna bring him to the live stream, this was social distancing with Clint, so I needed to take him to my house. I opened up the enclosure, he jumped onto me just like they do, and then he jumped onto the floor, which they do at times. And I just didn't panic, I was just like, I'll walk over to him carefully, because I'm trying to build a good relationship with him. I'll just put my hand down, you know, and I'll gather him up nice. But he just kind of stayed about 2 feet away from me, and then he ran over to the wall, and then he ran up the wall, and you can't see this, but these ceilings are like 20 feet high. So he quickly was outside of my reach. Well, that exact same thing happened to me with the other emerald tree skink. And I've been very sad that she did that, because she got up and into the gap in the rafters just like Greenie. Now, when Greenie got out, I actually climbed the building to get to the outside so I could see that he couldn't get out.
We should release that.
Yeah, Jason videoed the rescue. Have you released it anywhere?
No.
We will release this video at least to Patreon, but
Yeah.
do you think it
We'll see.
maybe on a Wednesday?
We'll see.
Okay. I'll negotiate with the Jason about getting it out. Anywho, so you can see how delightful these are. So I kind of did the same thing. She jumped onto me, and then she walked up to me in the enclosure and jumped onto me like these guys do. But she doesn't trust me like these guys do. And she jumped onto the floor and then up the wall. And I figured, though, because she's an emerald tree skink, and they're just not afraid of people, that sooner or later she would walk up to me. And she did, and Leisha spotted her. Leishy, how can I ever repay you? Lizard on the wall. Lizard on the wall. I love you. Thank you, thank you. Anyway, these are the best pet lizards ever, but that one's still gonna need a little bit of work. Honestly, these guys were super afraid of me until I moved them into their new enclosure. And then they became just spectacular, just unbelievably spectacular. So I'm still optimistic for the new girl, and our breeding plans are growing. Emerald tree skinks, skinkin' rad.
All right. Super chat.
Super chat.
Someone not special. Oh, that's sad.
Sad.
You are special.
Yeah,
We
you're
love
totally special, whoever you are, because there's someone.
There's someone. Will you make a video about a Komodo dragon?
Yes, I'm gonna say yes, we will at some point make a video about a Komodo dragon. The thing will be finding somewhere with Komodo dragons that will let us make a video with their Komodo dragons. I don't know what their protocols will be like in all of those places, so whether or not we'll really be able to interact with them, I don't know. I honestly feel like a lot of places, the Komodo dragons, you can probably trust them more than most people's crog monitors. We shall see what this video looks like, but I can almost guarantee you at some point we will figure out the best Komodo dragon video we can make, and we will make it.
We should mention that when the lizard fell, it fell
Onto a
gracefully.
plant.
It was the most soft fall it could have expected in this.
I don't know how. I don't know if that was deliberate or what the deal was, because she leapt right onto a plant. It was
Yeah.
magnificent.
It was a good fall. All right, let's see.
Like, you can see why I would trust her. She crawled up my arm and onto my shoulder, which is exactly what these do all the time, and then used me. She used me. She just leapt onto the floor and up the wall.
Oz sent a super
Oz,
chat.
I'm using your computer you sent to me right now. I can see my me on it.
Oz says, who is also a patron, I believe.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Happy to see everyone. Hope you are all doing well. Nice to see Jason and Michelle's faces.
Aw.
Michelle, you were hiding behind me if I
I was
saw
looking at the wrong
correctly.
camera. Looked out in my favor.
Let's see. Reptile 101 sent a super chat. Hi, this is Annabelle. My family and I visited from California back in February and stayed a couple hours.
That's right.
We moved to Idaho Falls now. Can't wait to visit.
I look forward to seeing you guys again. It's so fun. All the people that have come. People have come from really far away to come to the Reptile Room, and it seems like everybody's had a ton of fun, which makes me so happy because the Reptile Room is not yet what I wanted it to be. I didn't know we would go into just like survival mode during a year plus of pandemic. That wasn't in my plans. And so it's not yet what I wanted it to be, but I love that people are still coming here and having a great experience, and it's just gonna keep getting better. In fact, this week I've started building the biggest new thing that we've done so far. I love these so much.
Let's see. That sci-fi nerd sent another super chat.
Super chat.
And he says, or they say, my Stimmons, is it, am I saying?
Stimsons?
Stimson's python's name is Monty. Very original, I know.
That was you reading their comment.
Yes.
At first I'm like, Jason's being a real jerk.
Typical Jason.
Typical, oh, Monty Python, huh? Jason. How
All
can you
right.
be like that?
Another super chat from Ricky Troy Mosley says, great to see you. Tell Leisha we miss her. Thanks for advice on how to tame my tegu. He has started climbing all over me and looking for attention from me. Love the Laidlaws. Glad to hear Jason again. Bring back the podcasts. Yes.
We will. Podcasts we just, in fact, I think on our last meeting, discussed the return of the podcast. And Leisha will be back for some of our future podcast or live streams. It just seemed like, we hadn't had Jason and Michelle here in more than a year, and they need to be here.
Yes, we need to get the podcast up. My agenda items are getting ridiculous.
Do you have a projected date?
Don't put me on the spot.
That's
Man,
what I do.
I don't.
We won't, but when's it going to be?
I may have missed some super chats. It doesn't show me all of them. I don't like this setup. All right. Well, I'm gonna jump to the super chat that I can actually see. Sorry if we missed some of you guys. Toad Ranch sent a super chat
Toad
saying,
Ranch.
"Hey guys, glad to see y'all back."
Good to be back. And I assume this is the same Toad Ranch
It
that...
is.
Well, we really appreciate the enclosure, too. We've been saving it for a Burmese python that we were, well, and still are planning to rescue here. But originally, we got it for our common boa. And so I'm trying to decide, do we keep waiting for the berm to arrive, or do we just go ahead and move the boa over? I don't know. Anyway, give me your thoughts, Toad Ranch.
I have the super chats. I don't know why they're showing up for me.
Have at it.
So I think it's Geisler Exotics. Please correct us if that's wrong. It's $5. Says, hey Clint, love the videos. I was wondering how do you properly determine the gender of an emerald tree skink?
Whoa, that is a great question that I actually know how to answer. Okay, so one thing, and I apologize, I'm looking at the quality. It's a little bit blurrier than I was hoping it would be. We did some extensive testing, but anyway, we'll keep testing. We'll get it so it's even clearer next time. But if you can see, she doesn't have any hemipenal bulges, and the males do, but they're subtle. Another thing that you can look at is, and this I think is it's not 100%, but it's a pretty good indicator. The females on the soles of their feet, and so I'm not going to be able to show you this, but if you can get a peek at the soles of the feet of your skink, the females have gray soles, which kind of match the rest of their feet. The males have yellow soles to their feet. I might see if I can find Peter, because sometimes you can get a pretty good look at him. But that's the best giveaway of all.
Dead giveaway.
Dead giveaway.
Just about.
We have two more. Ripley's Reptiles, $9.99. Thank you so much. Clint, my wife and I are big fans of your channel, and I have started one of our own as well. Thank you for always being so positive and fun to watch.
Ripley's Reptiles?
Yes.
Well, check that out, and thank you so much.
Okay, and then Andreas Heineman, $10. Thank you so much. No question though.
No question? Andreas, thank you. Really appreciate it.
Okay, Jameson Horton says, "Hi Clint, this is my first live stream. I am now a stinkin' rad Patreon.
You're a stinking rad fan?
And have loved watching the extras. You are the reason I now have 13 reptiles and love them all. Thanks for everything.
You're welcome.
You start addictions."
Yes.
You're an enabler.
But these are some of the better kinds of addictions you can have. This is just addiction to pure joy.
Good. All right. Let's see. Let me
As long as you
scroll.
don't watch that one on the Black Widows. That's
Let's
the one
see.
that encourages other forms of addiction.
Yes, it does. Kate Andy Fiddle says the super chat of, "Hey Clint, it's Faith. Glad I could make the live stream. I'm hoping to be able to visit with you again via Zoom.
That will be wonderful.
Happy to support you guys."
Thank you so much. It makes such a ginormous difference. So I really, really appreciate it. Look forward to seeing you soon.
All right. Let me.
How could these lizards be any better?
These
can't.
super chats are coming in like crazy. Let's see. Charlock says, "Just wanted to say hi to you and the crew. Our whole family loves your channel, and my kids watch your videos almost every day. Thank you."
Well, thank you. And well, hi there.
Let's see. Variety Game Cats says,
I love this.
Not able to stay as today is cleaning the tank for my snapper. But I am beyond pleased to see you enjoying live again. Keep the passion going, man.
Well, thank you very much. It's really, really fun to be back. I'm so excited.
A stranger named Richard Bilbo sent a super
I've heard of this Bilbo fellow. He and I are bite buddies.
Yeah. He says, hello, everyone. Can't wait for my next visit.
We love having you. We just had
had him.
Richard was just here not long ago, and
Such
he
a
brought
blast.
some unbelievably cool animals.
And patrons would
Yeah.
know what that
Patrons
is.
would know. People who follow us on Instagram might have
Yes.
some inclination as to what it could be.
Good times. Thank you,
It
Richard.
was that big old
Thank
corn
you.
snake, wasn't it?
Yeah, the corn snake. The corn snake. All right, all Canadian reptile girl sent another super chat
Super
saying,
chat?
my contribution towards an emerald tree skink leash.
I only need it for the one.
Let's see. Oh man.
Cause look at this animal. So great.
Likes to jump. Okay, Anthony Simone sent a super chat.
Super chat.
So, my friend, aside from your beautiful new emerald tree skink, are there any new additions to the reptile room? Also, anyone on the fence about a face-to-face or joining Patreon, do it. You won't regret it.
Thank you so much, Anthony. There is somebody in. There's actually a few. One of them is in blue, so I'm not going to get him out today. We've of course got the dart frogs, but there's one thing, and we haven't done a video on this yet, but it is here, and I think I will show you what we have.
What is it?
Okay. I'm going to change my smell, so I don't smell like lizards anymore. Oh, Peter's shedding. Good work, buddy. No wonder you didn't want to come out.
J4S wants to know if we can do an opossum, if that's a good pet, and I'll tell you, Clint loves those.
I do. I love opossums to an insane degree. You're not allowed to import them into the state of Utah, and so it's been a little difficult for me to find one. I did get to hold my first opossum not very long ago, and it was super exciting, and I loved it. Okay, I'm gonna learn.
Should we give him a play-by-play? Michelle, what's the play-by-play? What's Clint doing right
He
now?
is currently reaching into the enclosure and he's pulling out a beautiful snake. He's being so careful and efficient. That is pretty.
I've loved these for a very long time.
That is way pretty.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Start off a little bit away so you can
Wow.
get a look at the pattern.
It's got quite the girth for the length.
What do you guys think of that?
That is gorgeous.
So that is a creature that now lives here thanks to our friend Doug Smith, who donated this animal, which this is an incredible animal. He was the first person ever to visit on our open hours at the reptile room, and when we reopened, he was the first person here again, and he's been one of the most common visitors, and he loves this snake and wasn't looking to rehome her necessarily, but he just thought more people needed the opportunity to enjoy her and enjoy her, just experiencing her and what she's all about. But this is a Dumerril's boa, which has got to be one of the best pet snakes you could possibly get. They're unreasonably awesome. And I apologize that the stream isn't clearer. We will continue our experiments with getting it perfect, but hopefully I'm not laggy at the very least. And there will be a video on these sometime down the road. So if you're not already a subscriber, now might be a good time to subscribe to Clint Reptiles and click the little bell so you don't miss videos on this glorious creature.
That is beautiful.
This pattern to me, I don't like it exactly as well as a Gaboon Viper,
Yeah.
but it reminds me of the pattern of a Gaboon Viper for some reason, and I would much rather have one of these than a Gaboon Viper. So I'm pretty excited.
Way reminds me of a blood python a little bit, just like, I don't know.
Well, this is a ground boa.
Yeah.
And one of the things, and actually, guys, if you guys know more about this, I don't know, and I've been researching like crazy, and I've learned a lot of cool things, but not what I've been looking for. So this is a boa from Madagascar. Generally speaking, well, in fact, totally, the pythons are an old world group, and the boas are primarily a new world group. But you've got a few old world boas, mostly around Africa, like Madagascar, where these come from. You got Kenyan sand boa. You've got a lot of these little island populations of old world boas, and I want to know where they fit in, like phylogenetically. Where do they fit in with the other boas? Like who are their closest relatives among the living boas? Because I don't know, and I would really like to know. So if you know, please tell me.
I like it. Vengeance sent a super chat saying, just got a morning day gecko. Love playing the song Remind Me by Roykskop.
Will loves that band.
The Gecko Caveman commercial song. So there's that.
Huh? Now, Owen,
Cool.
or no, Owen. Why would I do that?
What?
Gus, calm down.
Owen, calm down, Owen.
You called him Owen?
That's bad.
I call my kid Alexis.
Turn down the music in there. Oh,
Yeah, pretty much.
that's almost. I don't know which is worse. Is it worse to call a lizard after the name of your son, or call your daughter after the name of a technological device that's in your house?
Let's see.
Alexa's so much more obedient.
Very true.
Another super chat from, or a super chat coming in from Ogres Have Layers.
Yes, they do.
The
They're like onions.
The jumping spider that lives in my house has gotten big. Will climb on my hand for a few. Question is, should I keep it and get an enclosure, or just let it be? Seems to be thriving.
I don't know. If there's enough stuff in your house for your jumping spider to be eating and surviving and thriving, seems like it's nice having a jumping spider in there.
Let's see. Aquariumax, who is also no
Russ.
stranger.
Oh,
Yep.
Russ.
Good friend.
Delighted to see you live again. Here is a little something for the reptile room.
Thank you so much, Russ, and we look forward to seeing you again soon.
Let's see.
We've got some Russ videos coming out in the very near future. So if you don't already subscribe to Clint's Reptiles, now might be a really good time to click subscribe and that little bell so you don't miss those videos with Russ from Aquarium Max Pets down the road. Also, if you're not subscribed to Aquarium Max Pets, what are you doing? Get over there. This is ridiculous.
David Shook sent a super chat saying,
Super chat!
my pastel Enchi ball python is named Clint.
What a glorious name. Pastel Enchi?
Yeah.
I like all of that. Enchi is such a great gene. I'm a big fan. I just moved some new ball pythons over here, but I think they're all ones that you guys know for the most part. They're cool.
Super Chaos 002 sent a super duper super chat,
Super duper chat!
but there's no words.
Where's the super duper
I
chat?
just sent it. Thank you very much.
What was their name again?
Super Chaos 002.
Super Chaos 002. Thank you.
All right. Betty Morgan sent a super chat saying, hi, smiley face.
Well, hi, smiley face, right back at you.
Toad Ranch sent another super chat saying, move your boa. If
Okay.
you need another enclosure for a berm, just give us a shout.
Oh, we need another enclosure for a berm.
No, louder.
We need another enclosure for a berm.
Yeah, that's the shout there.
That would be wonderful. Thank you so much. I assume that's what they meant by a shout, right?
Yeah, that's exactly what they meant.
Just shout it so loud we can hear it. Okay. You got it.
All right. Hello 1212 sent a super chat saying, hello from Philadelphia. Captive or wild-caught emerald tree skink?
Mine are all wild caught right now, which generally I don't like. There are two reasons that I'm really okay with it, with these guys. Reason number one is I intend to breed them. That I think is the only really good reason to get wild caught animals, because there are some that are great pets, but somebody has to take wild caughts and establish them, and they are very breedable, and so we want to get some good bloodlines going, so that we don't have inbreeding problems down the road. And so, you need a number of people working with different lineages of them. The other thing is they're doing great in the wild. They're doing really, really well in lots of places. They're in the Philippines and all over the place. And they're super common. And so as long as that's the case, I'm okay with that for breeding. Again, that's not a sustainable way for us all to have pets, because the reality is everyone and their bearded dragon should have an emerald tree skink. Except don't put your bearded dragon anywhere close to them. But they're so darn great, and so we need. In fact, I would like it if a lot more people would work with them. I think that within the next 5 years, they should be literally everywhere. You should be sick and tired of seeing emerald tree skinks, because they make a lot of other lizards seem like, but why would I get that? Because this is the best lizard there is.
Okay. Bree Dragoness sent a super chat saying, would you say the emerald tree skinks are little escape artists?
No, I wouldn't. But this emerald tree skink, it's not that she wiggled her way out of her enclosure or something. It was she used me, and it was only because of the trust that I have in the other two that I was willing to put that trust in her when she seemed to show the same sort of interest in coming out to visit that they show. But she had other plans. And so, and the other thing is, this room, I love it in so many ways. 20-foot ceilings with very climbable walls for things with little claws, but not for humans. That is like the worst place for getting animals out and trying to build a relationship. Like, I'm scared to death of getting Greenie Miracle out. Greenie, though, yesterday took 2 dubia roaches from me while sitting on my hand. So we're making some progress, but I'm so scared to let him out. I do know if he gets out, I need to grab him and let him bite me, let it ruin, months of work that we've been doing. I need to grab him, because otherwise I'm eventually going to need to grab him from a ladder in the ceiling.
Which was super fun.
Well,
It was a stressful time.
Yes.
That's for sure.
Didn't you post something on Instagram when you guys were changing light bulbs?
yes. So that'll give you an idea how high the ceilings are. Too high. I need a different, little secure room where I can work with animals.
Good thought.
Okay. Andreas Heinemann sent a super chat saying,
Gus.
I have
Gus, I'm the star of this channel. Get that guy off of my channel.
I have a Savannah monitor lizard, and it's a baby. It's showing aggression. How do I break that?
Try to figure out what kind of aggression it is, because it's probably not I'm gonna eat you aggression. It's probably either I would like some food or I'm feeling afraid of you, defensiveness. And so figure out what it is. If it's food, then you can use that to your advantage. That's one of the great things about very food motivated animals, is you can use food to help you build that relationship with them. And so just have some really great interactions. If it's defensiveness, then you need to, in fact, we have a whole video with Kevin McCurley from Nerd about how to work with animals that are somewhat afraid. The main thing is you need to establish a relationship where the Savannah monitor knows that you are not a threat.
Okay, Smokey Moreno says a super chat of, hey there, we have Komodo dragons at our San Antonio Zoo if you want to come by.
There are Komodo dragons at the Denver Zoo also, and they had them at the Australian Reptile Park when we went there. And if any of these zoos would be willing or would like to have us there to do a video about them and maybe a few other animals, we would love to come out. So please reach out to us. Well, how would they do that?
There is an email in the
Descriptions?
description of all our videos.
Okay, so in our video descriptions, there's an email. Contact us there if you are a zoo with Komodo dragons, or really anything else that you would like for us to potentially cover, and we can look into planning a trip.
Yep, but we love Texas, so we definitely want to go there.
Well, Michelle really loves Texas, and from her description of Texas, Texas sounds like paradise. I've never been there,
It's pretty great.
but it's pretty great.
Wolf Jagger, I don't know, Jager, says, "Hi Clint, my daughter and I still talk about how much fun we had at the Reptile Room. Can't wait to come back this summer."
Yay! I'm looking forward to having you guys. For those of you who are interested in coming, by the way, we are open to the general public on Mondays and Fridays from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. And then by appointment at lots of other times. And then, of course, you can always come virtually from anywhere in the world.
How do they do it virtually?
Oh, well, they would need a link. It's right there in the chat right now.
Ah, there it is.
Oh, man.
All right.
Is it?
It is now. Well,
It is now.
I posted it.
Because that's the address.
I did both.
There's, okay.
It's just
There's the
a
square.
There's a lag.
There's a lag. I gotta wait.
Jay Saha sent a super chat.
J.A. Saha. Sorry. Just what came out.
Are you just giving everybody jingles? Is that what today
I think
is?
more people need jingles.
Any chance you can do a Brazilian rainbow boa, the best pet snake, for your video? This is one of my dream noodles, and would love to take a Brazilian rainbow boa as pets. Take on them as pets. Love your channel.
I can tell you, if I could find a Brazilian rainbow boa, I would do a video very, very quickly. But unfortunately, we only have 2 of them in the room.
What does that imply?
It's coming soon.
All right. Amy B sent a super duper chat.
Super duper chat.
She
That's
says,
the Winnie the Pooh laugh. That's the one, Leisha, we were talking about.
I'll have to listen to that.
You guys were having a chat about
Yeah.
Jason's
About my
Winnie the
laugh?
Pooh laugh.
Yeah, he has like 9 different laughs.
I'm sorry, 9.
Yeah, something like
You've
that.
categorized
Anyways,
them.
But okay.
I'm not allowed to talk about what we talk about.
But I would like to. I'd like to know. Give me 3 of the laughs.
Yeah, I want to hear all 9.
Winnie the
actually.
Pooh.
So there's Winnie the, Karen
Oh,
would know
man,
him
this
better.
is
I
ridiculous.
the Winnie the Pooh one was the one I put up because it's my favorite one. But
What does
yeah.
it sound like?
What he just did, his little giggle.
I don't know
I
what
don't
they
know.
did.
I
We were
can.
talking about. I started it with your giggles.
Does he have a tiger laugh?
I don't think so.
I don't think I have that one.
Sorry, Amy. You
Yes,
burned it on your
Amy B sent a super duper chat.
Wait, but I only know about the one laugh.
That's all you get, evidently. Yay, I made it. So many opossums here in Ohio. Hi, everyone. I've been enjoying the vlogs, but missed the live chats.
Well, I am so glad that we're back. And yeah, I would. So I did have a run-in with a wild opossum in Florida, and in 5 seconds, my opinion of opossums changed forever, and I'm obsessed with them. And I think as an educational mammal, I can't think of a better one. The only problem is they have a very short lifespan, like a rat. And when it's as hard to get as it is, and then it only lives as long as a rat, that's very disappointing. Ooh, clarity's good now, so you can see this boa very, very well. And I'm gonna check just to make sure we're doing well. Oh, we got buckets of battery. We could do this for weeks.
No filming tonight. Just live stream.
No filming.
Do I feel ridiculous every time I say opossum? Because that's not how I grew up calling them.
You just called them possums?
We did too.
What is correct?
So
and
for-
why?
So there are possums,
Okay.
but that creature is a Virginia opossum.
Okay.
Which is a relative. They're all marsupials. The possums are, no, they're just different.
Where do they live in the States as well?
No, I think there's some South American possums, and
Do they
then
look
probably
similar?
some Australian possums. So the deal is that South America and Australia, both of them were separated essentially from the rest of the world before the eutherian placental mammals ever came to be. And South America re-engaged with the rest of the world, and so the eutherians moved down into South America with a vengeance. And eutherian mammals tend to outcompete the marsupials anywhere where they overlap. So you've just got a handful of hangers-on, which are mostly opossums and possums. Though Australia has remained isolated, and so they've only got a handful of colonizing eutherians. Dingoes were introduced by humans. Bats got there on their own, and I think there's some rodents that are there. Those are the only ones I know of that are native or quasi-native. Well, and then humans. Humans were introduced by humans. They actually brought the dingoes as well.
Thanks.
Al sent a super chat. Al says, "Hi Clint, me and the fam are big fans of yours here in London, UK. We've just done a bioactive setup for our beardy, Loki. Fingers crossed it works."
What are you using for a cleanup crew? That's really exciting. I want to make my bearded enclosures more bioactive. With Gus, I actually use mealworms for cleanup crew, and they've been spectacular. But the beardies, they do terrible things to mealworms. So let me know what's working for you.
Dog is morose sent a super chat. I believe they're from Down Under.
Snake, man.
He says, "Hey Clint, I know they aren't reptiles, but would you ever do a video on ant lions? They're the best. Love from Australia."
I too love me some ant lions. For those of you unfamiliar with ant lions are a flying insect that looks a heck of a lot like a dragonfly. In fact, a lot of people who think they're getting dragonfly tattoos, but their tattoo has long antenna on it, turns out 'twas an ant lion all along. And that's pretty cool. But it is their juvenile form, which is far more interesting, in my opinion, than the flying adult. Because the juveniles sit at the bottom of a cone of sand that they make and wait for little insects, mostly ants, to stumble by and fall in there. And they just sit there at the bottom of this cone with their giant trapdoor jaws like the creature out of, what's that silly movie?
Sarlacc?
I'm not thinking of the Sarlacc. I'm thinking of Tremors. Yeah,
Tremors.
kind of like the Tremors beastie. So they just sit there and grab stuff and pull them under the sand. Neat.
I think we call them doodlebugs in Texas.
Alicia calls Owen Doodlebug.
Aw.
Now I know what he is. Yep.
Scott sent a super chat saying, "Clint, haven't you ever worked with Arizona bark scorpions? My friend is vacationing and brought me back too."
I haven't worked with them specifically, but I've worked with a lot of southwestern United States scorpion species, and they're very cool. I always try to avoid stings.
Right Reptiles with a W.
Ooh.
With two W's, actually.
There's a W before the reptiles?
Yeah.
That should be how reptiles is written. Reptiles.
Says, "Hey," they sent a super chat saying, "Hey, I recently got a tegu, black and white and red hybrid. He is pretty sassy. Any tips on calming him down? I don't want to get bit again. LOL."
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be bitten by a tegu at all. So if he's little, that's the better time to get bitten. But generally speaking, just don't manhandle him. Don't force him to be handled. Just build up a relationship of trust where he gets food, teach him about target training, spend time in his presence, but where you're not inconveniencing him very much, so he can get used to you as a non-threatening entity in his world.
Okay. John S. sent a super chat just to send a super chat.
Jonas, thank you so much for the super chat.
Let's switch over to Patreon. real quick. Omar Y says, "Tips for keeping humidity high in Exoterra terrarium. I live in Colorado, so it's very dry here."
Okay, so right behind me is an Exoterra terrarium for dart frogs. And there's one really key thing. Over the whole screen lid is a big piece of glass. In fact, I took the screen lid out and replaced it with a big piece of glass that Josh's frog sent to us. So that's the best way to do it.
Okay. Bronwen Ellis.
Oh, but there's a problem.
Oh.
Wrong one.
I didn't need UVB in there. So keep in mind that UVB doesn't go through glass, but it does go through acrylic. So if what you have needs UVB, acrylic's the way to go. However, if you have a basking lamp on there, you're just not going to be able to cover the whole thing. So it's going to depend on what your animal is.
Good little asterisk there.
Yeah.
Say it again.
Bronwyn.
Bronwen Ellis sent a Patreon question that says, is a Komodo dragon the best pet reptile?
Nope. They're stinking rad, and I'd like to talk to you about them. Please reach out, Zeus.
Sean P. sent a Patreon
Hey,
question.
can I just cover a thing?
You can. I'll allow it.
I got a comment a while back that the Irwins like our channel. Not from them. I have no idea where you would have heard that. But if I could pick one place in the world to go film videos, or just to go to meet people, it'd probably be the Australia Zoo. That's been a dream all my life. So if that's for real, please contact us. we would love to come out and meet you guys. You might even have some Komodo dragons, is what I was thinking. So that'd be a dream come true.
And the person who said that, if they'll email me, I'd like to know how and where they said that.
Yeah, I asked on their comment, I'm like, really? Did they say something? Because I have very much all my life, felt almost like they're part of my family, but then they don't know me back.
That's probably how a lot of people feel about you.
Yes. well,
You're like the redheaded stepchild of their family.
Yeah.
Brian Cusco is in the chat.
Oh, Brian!
Let's see.
Brian is the best. He does have a problem in that he sometimes drinks his urine. Nobody's perfect.
Nobody's perfect. Barring that.
Yeah, there had to be a flaw.
All right. Sean P., a Patreon question, says, what are your thoughts on the imminent venomous reptile bans in South Carolina and the sneaky way they were added to non-reptile related bills? Any chances high how these bans will be expanded even more? Okay,
Not to wax too political, but I don't like it when they attach stuff to any bills. Because it's like, you do this venom ban and you put it on the back of like a education spending bill, and then anybody who votes against it, it's like, they said no to funding schools. No, I didn't like the part about the venomous snake ban. But so I think that's all lame. I need to look more into that specific legislation. I don't know enough about that specifically. I would say though, definitely USARC is, they stay on top of this kind of things. When it comes to venomous snake, when it comes to really any sort of animal regulation, I recognize the fact that sometimes regulating animals is either necessary or at least justifiable. But I do think, generally speaking, you need a reasonable path to ownership for people that can demonstrate that they are not falling into the groups of people that you're trying to prevent from having these animals. And so I would need to see what they have provided as far as that goes. That's actually one of the problems I have with the Florida legislation, is just in a lot of cases, there wasn't really a path to ownership.
Okay, we got to go fast.
Lightning round?
Lightning.
Let me de-snakeify.
We're getting behind on super chats. We got a ton of Patreon questions. There's a lot of pent up.
These people have been fasting for a long time.
They're hungry for Clint knowledge.
Okay.
And at some point we need to film tonight.
What?
Do we?
Is that why we're here? I almost forgot that we film sometimes.
Okay,
Wait, lightning round.
Patreon. And Anthony Simone.
Anthony.
With the 2012, I did the wrong one for this one. With the 2012 discovery of the feathered theropod that grew to nearly 30 feet long and weighed over a ton. Do you think this adds credence to the theory that Tyrannosaurus may have had feathers? May have been
No.
feathered.
Here would be my thoughts on this, okay? Crap. Okay, I'm sorry, guys. I'm not. Anthony asked the best questions.
Okay, a shortened version.
So, being a fully feathered large animal isn't going to give you any sort of flight capability, but what it will give you is insulation, which in most habitat types is actually not that great. So if you notice like large mammals that are endotherms, that are trying to maintain heat, when you get really big, you've got a fairly small amount of surface area for your volume, and so you maintain heat very easily just because you're big. And so you notice things like elephants and rhinoceroses and things like that, pretty much hairless. But, when you're smaller, you've got a lot less surface area, or a lot more surface area for your volume. You shed heat very quickly. A lot of times in those same habitats, you'll find fully furred small mammals, even close relatives like the hyrax. But if you go into colder climates, then you get things like woolly mammoths and mastodons that are, fully furred, ginormous elephants. And so, having a big dinosaur be fully feathered, a big theropod be fully feathered, makes sense if it's in a cool climate. The main reason I'm saying no for Tyrannosaurus rex is just because we have a lot of skin impressions and things like that, at least for adult T-Rexes, and there's been no evidence of feathers on them. So they may have had some little ornamental feathers here and there, but they're definitely Tyrannosaurus rex, not feathered. There's good evidence that they're not. But as babies, maybe.
Another patron. We're going to stay in patron for a while.
Stay on Patreon for a while.
All right.
Another one.
What was that one?
I'm not sure.
Doesn't have a name?
Do we really name them? This is ridiculous. All right. Gaylord Zapinkowski says, reptile room height.
Zapinkowski is the perfect name for the lightning round.
Why are Sarahs so hard to find captive bred?
That's a very good question. I think a lot of the reason is just because they've kind of fallen through the cracks in people's search for the New Caledonian geckos, and so not that many people have been keeping them and breeding them. They also might be a little bit more difficult to breed than our, say, crested geckos.
Metacritter said, could you please talk about standing day gecko, both behavior and husbandry? I just got a pair and I've found a lot of variability in care data. Would like to make sure I got it right.
We'll do what we can. I mean, we usually don't provide full care sheets. We kind of give the basics to give you an idea, is this something that I want to get myself into or not? And so I would love to do a video on them and other various day geckos in the future. But what I would recommend for now is join a day gecko group on social media and inquire as to what care guides would be the best.
Aquarimax Pets, Russ Wilson, sent a patron question, said, I think a lot of beginners with pet snakes would love to know, how do you know when a snake has one on deck, as you have so delicately put it?
Okay. Athena is getting ready to shed, so I don't want to bother her too much, but she often has one on deck. In fact, she's the reason that Oz sent me this computer, because she unloaded on my last computer, and that was the end of that. But the main way is they will have a big swelling right before their vent, and so there will be a huge cutoff in size between their vent and their tail. Tail will be very skinny. Right before the vent, it will just suddenly get very, very large, and that usually means there's one pretty imminent, and if you're handling them, they will probably unload it at some point during that handling session. And this is going to look different than when a snake is obese and hippie, because that's kind of more off to the side. This is directly at the bottom of the snake, almost exclusively.
Drayden Darkwind says, how can non-expert reptile lovers who just want a pet make sense of all the genetic lingo, like 66% het, possible, call, etc., etc.?
So there is a really great series of videos that I strongly encourage that really anybody with even a passing interest in reptile breeding or genetics watch. It's called Ball Python Genetics 1, 2, 3, and 4. It will turn you into a master of genetics, and it will explain actually all of these things. Now, this isn't just like something to make genetics a little less mysterious. This is to turn you into a master of genetics. So take your time with it. Take notes, answer the questions at the end of the videos, and you will be a master of genetics.
Nikki Pfister says, my Tegu hybrid of black and white and red Argentine, might be the same one, is in a grumpy phase. Any tips on taming him back down?
I think we answered that question already.
Perfect. Omar Y says, any hints on your next big reptile purchase?
My next big reptile purchase?
Hints.
Well, what I've been interested in lately have been snakes, because here at the room, I worry that the snakes could get overhandled, because they're very, very popular during the times that we're open, and I do want to put snakes into as many people's hands as I possibly can. And so they spend a lot of time out. It makes it so I have to feed them on Tuesday, because that's the only time where there's a lot of time before the next time they'll be handled on Friday. And so I want to increase the number of snakes that I have here, so that I can have like Monday only snakes and Friday only snakes.
Slowest lightning ever. Betty Morgan. Any ideas about how to make a DIY outside enclosure escape dig proof for a monitor?
Yes. Put a floor in it essentially. And then bury part of the enclosure.
Chicken wire maybe? All
Yeah.
along the bottom? Jacob Hauser says, it seems that most morphs I'm aware of are genetic inhibitors of one kind or another. Are there examples of morphs resulting from genetic promoters?
That's a very good question. I would have to look at the hypermelanistic morphs like IMG and boas and stuff that are causing additional pigments to be, that is more melanin instead of getting rid of, one pigment or another. Because that is a lot of times what's going on. It's some of them that change pattern. I don't know what's going on there. And that could be very interesting indeed.
David Shook, talk about which is the heaviest boa under 7 feet when an adult, please.
The heaviest boa under 7 feet. Plausibly, BCIs often get to 7 or more feet. Males are going to be a little more light-bodied. I don't know. I don't know what it would be exactly. There are a lot of boas. It would be some boa that gets really close to 7 feet on a fairly regular basis, but I don't know which one.
C. Ryan Shryock. I just butchered that. Sorry. Hi, Clint. Question for you. Spectacled flying fox. Best pet mega... I don't know how to say that.
Megachiropteran?
There you are. Also, looking forward to our one-on-one later this month.
It seems like in Europe, fruit bats in general are actually fairly popular pets. And in a lot of ways, that seems like that would be amazing. To me, keeping large flying animals would require me to have an aviary before I would want to do it. I just don't, why do I want something that flies just so I can never allow it to fly? That's my personal opinion on it. That's not to say that it wouldn't be just stinking rad to hang out with a fruit bat, because it would be. But I would say they've got to be up there for the best pet megachiropteran.
David Shook says, is a chameleon forest dragon the best pet lizard for me?
No, emerald tree skink is, but you might, that might be a dang good one. If you can get one that's captive bred, good luck.
Jim Knowlton says, I'm looking for a second snake. I like the gopher snake, but have limited space since I already have a ball python. I'm thinking a male western hognose snake is kind of a gopher snake in a smaller body. What do you think?
I don't think that the gopher snake, the hognose snake is a small gopher snake. Gophers are actually not ridiculously big snakes compared to bull snakes, for example, which are the same genus but much, much bigger. But hogs are stinking rad, and I don't think I've ever met somebody. I've had people who have a hog that's going through a really grumpy phase, but I have a feeling once you get it past that grumpy phase, nobody gets a hog and they're like, I hate having a hognose snake. It's just like, this is amazing.
Someone in the chat, let me go back to it.
Someone in the chat.
Lucky Red Dragons in the chat said, "Can we get Lizard on the Wall merch now?" Because that would be hilarious and an amazing addition to your merch site, which I am posting now.
There are like 400 of you in here, and you people would all be like, I was there for the lizard on the wall. Seems reasonable to me. Leisha, Leisha, Leisha. I'm Team Leisha, Mr. and Mrs. Morelia, just so you know. Oh, by the way, 10 years ago today, Leisha and I got engaged. And every year we make a little pilgrimage to right where it happened, and we did that today.
I love that. I love it.
Let's see, Chalati says, what happened to an arid bioactive video discussing cleanup crew and arid plants?
Well, we did the one on blue tongues, which are relatively arid. But yeah, I'm still working. I want to get it right. I don't want to just make a video like, here's something I tried. Didn't work at all.
Claudia R. said, would you ever do a video on elephant trunk snakes or how to make a good bioactive enclosure for one since they are aquatic?
Totes! In fact, we even have a video that already talks about them to some degree, which is our 5 of the weirdest pet reptiles video. Check it out.
We're all caught up on Patreon.
We got through all the Patreon?
All the patrons.
Man, we are killing it today.
Let's see. Let's go back to Super Chat.
Super Chat!
Dan E says, do you or would you take pythons, boas outside to explore and get natural sun?
Yes, I would. Be careful about pesticides and even potentially mites, but I wouldn't worry about them too much because of frontline spray. That is great. As long as you're not spraying it in close proximity to your arachnids, which actually, I have a really cool arachnid here today. And I was curious, Jason.
Nope. I'm good.
What is your number?
It's not on the. It's not an option.
That must be upwards of like $5.
I'm
If
way
I
good.
recall,
I'm way good.
Are you afraid of spiders?
It's not a spider.
Just don't
what
have
is
a
it?
desire.
It's a vinegaroo.
Oh, I don't have a desire.
Jason has no desire. If you
Zero
guys would like to
desire.
try to influence
Oh
Jason,
my gosh.
let me know.
All right. Super chat from the responsible one says, just became a stinking rad fan on Patreon and hope to own a jumping spider soon. When do they usually become available, as everywhere seems to be out right now?
Everywhere is going to be out of everything that they could ever be out of right now because COVID has made keeping bodacious, relatively easy to keep animals seem like a really great idea for a whole heck of a lot of people. And so now is not a good time to get them, but this is the season where they'll probably start showing up. So be on the lookout. But I don't know. It's hard to get everything right now. Jason, is Jason still?
No.
Oh, this is about something else. They have inside jokes.
I don't know how to. Okay, I'm just gonna go with it. Catford92 sent a super chat saying, Clint, show us your balls. Pythons, of course. My ball python clutches planned, any ball python clutches planned this year.
I brought some of my breeder females over to the room. And that I'm not going to breed too many things, but there are a few things that it's like I gave them all. I gave all my ball pythons last year off, and this year there are just a few that I want to work with. So I'll grab a few.
Did I miss any between that and
Nope.
Alexander Thompson?
You got them all.
Okay, because it jumps. I don't. Oh, this is frustrating.
It does jump. I've done it a few times during the year.
But it like this is the top,
Yeah.
which doesn't make any sense. Sorry, we're just talking about nonsense while Clint grabs another snake.
Maybe you should be up in front of the camera holding a vinegaroo or something.
I'm good.
Jason. Jason.
I'm way good,
Come
guys.
on.
I'm way good.
Oh. Hello.
While you're getting that going,
She was very curious about it.
uh,
Snakes I handle that much.
Alexander Thompson sent a super chat saying, Hi Clint, big fan of your channel, and you're the reason I have a gargoyle gecko, Echo. Glad to finally have a chance to watch a stream.
So good to have you.
I hope they can hear him over there.
Well, here, I'll be over in a second. I haven't gotten done showing them my balls. Pythons, that is.
Pythons, that is.
What is that from? Something that is. What
Oh.
is it? Somebody tell me.
Some
Just a
commercial.
second, I'll get it in a second.
Beverly Hillbillies.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Guys, we usually speak 80% in quotes here when we film.
Any chance of a community Discord in the future? There currently is an official Discord
Yes.
server run by some awesome people behind the scenes. Let me put a link. There you go.
Yes, and we want to give a huge thank you to our moderators. Today we have Aurora and Benny.
Thank you, guys.
Okay,
Oh,
so,
wow.
Whoa.
sorry, I gotta put a leg up so I can show them my balls. Pythons, that is. So,
Oh my
this is my pastel lesser female. She has produced awesome clutches before. She's actually Sinatra's mom. And this is my pastel leopard girl. She is that super wide one, and I was looking at some of her babies from her last clutch because they are still super wide too. It's genetic wideness, whatever is accounting for that. And then this one here, I haven't bred her before. This is one of Sunny's daughters. So this is a female lesser Mojave. She could also be pinstripe. There's a very small chance she could be banana. And so anyway, so I'm going to breed these three girls at the very least, and probably just a regular lesser and a regular Mojave and a couple others as well. But I'm really excited because I've got a super banana male, and I've got a banana lesser Mojave male that I'm very excited to get integrated into my breeding plans. And so anyway, that's what I'm thinking about. I've only done a little bit of pairing because those males were still a little bit small, and I've been giving them a little bit more food to get them up to size, see if they show any interest, because I kind of want to keep not breeding these girls until those fellers are ready for them.
Okay. Haley Matthew sent a super chat saying, "Hi, I rescued a Rankin's dragon and want to build the perfect bioactive enclosure for him. What size enclosure is best, and am I right following beardy care, or are there differences? Thanks."
Yes. So here's the thing.
Whoa.
Rankin's dragons are stinking rad, and I gotta go fast. But yes, basically follow beardy care for them. I would say any enclosure, I mean, they will use space. Really, the only thing that I would say would be an enclosure that's too big is just the point when you can't find the Rankin's dragon to feed it and stuff. Like, at some point, it's just living in the wild. But yeah, the bigger the better. I mean, you know, if you gave it something 8 feet by 2 feet, all I can tell you is you would see a lot of really cool Rankin's dragon behaviors.
Oh my gosh, the super chats keep coming.
Super
all right,
chats!
All right, Johnny R says,
Never let Jason go. Super chat him for days.
Johnny R says, put in order best pet to worst: Komodo dragon, Gaboon viper, and Lilith.
Okay. Gaboon viper, probably the best in that group. A Gaboon viper is not a totally unreasonable pet as long as you follow the proper safety protocols. You know, it's not an escape artist at all. It's not going anywhere. Just follow the proper safety protocols. Then I would say Komodo dragon. It's very unreasonable. Just going to be expensive and potentially a little bit dangerous. Again, proper safety protocols. I would say just don't interact with it when you're alone, and you'll probably be fine, right? I mean, I would say it is an animal. It's more dangerous than like a 20-foot retic, but not a lot more. It's going to be a similar-ish sort of a thing. Could be some nasty hospital trip, though, if you got tagged. And then Lilith is the worst, just because she's very capable of escaping. She's very long and difficult to handle and grumpy and kill you quite dead.
Clint, you took a perfect lightning round question.
All I had to do
where
was-
all
I
you had to
didn't-
do is order them.
I didn't need to say why.
No.
That was a bonus.
Scott W. says, my 4 black widows. They were captured in Ohio. They just went through another molting.
Molting.
My son thought they grew 8 more legs.
Oh,
Let's see.
one of my tarantulas just molted during our open hours, so it was really fun to watch that happen.
Let's see. James in Horton sent a super chat saying, I have been building a tegu enclosure because of the awesomeness of Gus Gus, and then Florida just passed a law against them. Super against and considering moving to North Carolina.
Yeah.
Super upset.
Yeah, no, honestly, Australia, also quite rad, but Florida has long been a place that I have loved and wanted to live, and now I'm looking at neighboring states.
Wolfgeist sent a super chat saying, are you going to attend Schaumburg?
Hamburg?
Schaumburg.
It's with a S.
I don't know what that is, but it sounds like fun. We need to go to more expos.
Yeah. Schaumburg, Illinois, maybe?
What did they say?
I don't know. Reptiles? Is there reptiles there? Is there a reptile? There's a reptile show there, maybe.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Sounds like fun. I don't know. I've never heard of it. I have traveled to very few reptile expos in my life, but we had such a good time at Tinley. I'm down for more stuff.
Let's see. Darian Hostetler says, sent a super chat saying, I love you guys. You are very much appreciated.
Oh, thank you. You guys are so wonderful, and we appreciate you as well. Thank you for your support.
Oh, I might be catching up. B. Lone Wolf sent a super chat saying, got any good jokes about snakes and other reptiles? Would love to see a beardy. If you got one on hand there, please watch out for wild Argus monitors.
This is pretty on the spot for me to think of a good snake joke. But I do have a Far Side cartoon that I always show to my class when we start talking about snakes. And it has God, and he's got like clay, and he's like, man, these snakes are a cinch.
I won't say it. All right.
You have a snake joke?
I have a chameleon joke.
I'm ready.
Let's hear it.
Okay. Did you hear about the old chameleon that couldn't change color?
No.
He had erectile dysfunction.
Oh no!
That's a good one. That's a good one. Now, was it reptiles specifically, or did they say other
Snake or
animals?
other reptiles.
Otherwise.
Other reptiles. Okay,
But
'cause
if you've got a good animal one,
I've got a
I'd love to
goat
hear it.
joke that I enjoy.
Okay, let's hear it.
Learned this one from Jay Leno.
Oh.
Okay. Alicia will be like, "Ugh," but what can you do?
All right.
It's one of my favorite jokes. It can't be rushed.
We're going to be here for a while.
So two guys are walking through the woods, and they come across this gigantic hole. It's not that it's so wide, it's just unbelievably deep. And they're looking down in there, and they're like, man, how deep do you think this hole is? I have no idea. Maybe we should get something and throw it down in there so we can hear how long it takes for it to hit the bottom. So they started looking around, and they found this rusty old anvil. And they got together, and they kind of carried it over to the hole, and they threw it down in there, and they just heard it go. But they never heard it hit the bottom. But then suddenly out of the woods, they heard like a... And this goat comes charging right at them. They had to like dive out of the way to avoid the goat, and then the goat just dives right down into the hole. And they're just like, what in the world is going on? And then they started hearing this voice approaching in the distance. It was going, Betsy! 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 And this farmer eventually walks up to them and he goes, have you guys seen a goat come through here? And they went, oh my gosh, yes. It was the darndest thing. It came running right at us, almost knocked us into this hole, and then it dove straight in there. And the farmer said, well, that can't be. I had her chained to an anvil.
No.
That's terrible.
Oh dear.
Okay, all right. I don't know how to say this. Cosiris sent a super chat saying, your videos made me get a boa yesterday. He's a hypo salmon BCI,
Whoa.
and he is very friendly.
And very, very beautiful. I like that. That's exciting. That's exciting. I'd like to see a picture. Tag us on Instagram.
Dan Webb sent a super chat saying, new rad member, enjoyed seeing... Rad fans on Patreon. Enjoyed seeing you Monday. My mom was wearing the carpet python and can't stop talking about how amazing the visit was. Recommendations for
So
a
this is
very
Dan.
dark black python / boa.
Dude, I guess I have been. Okay. So this is Dan. He was in here. He was an awesome guy. And yeah, we hung out for a long time. I posted a picture of his mom with our carpet python in her hair. And he's in the background, so if you want to see what he looks like, there he is. But anyway, as far as a dark boa, so the IMG boas are always good, but I just discovered a type of IMG boa called a black devil, which has a certain type of axanthism plus the IMG. It's jet black, and really expensive, and you should get two and donate one to the reptile room, because I want one stupendously badly, but I can't afford that.
That is crazy
That's
black.
Yeah.
gorgeous.
Other unbelievably cool jet black snakes would be this would be a smaller one. This would be a python, a ball python. Would be a GHI Suma, which is a GHI super mahogany, so homozygous mahogany. Another jet black snake, not going to be iridescent though, like that black devil. And then, if you want wild type, the Boland's python, also white lip pythons. And then you could look into the reticulated python, golden child. Anyway.
Okay, Dan E sent a super chat saying, Jason, hold the vinegaroon. That's
Do
right.
it.
Everybody
That's
is
all right.
saying Jason hold the vinegar.
Crazed Fieri.
What's your number? There's a number.
There's no number. Sent a super chat
There is
saying,
no number. Somebody be like, Bill Gates gets on here right now. He's like, $1 billion. Jason, will you hold
I
that?
would obviously hold it.
Okay, so what's the number?
$1 billion, you just named it.
500 million? You're like, no way, man.
Crazed Fieri. Fairy? It's got an I in there, so I don't know what to do with
Crazed
that.
fairy.
With an I?
Well, there's a lot of interesting ways
Okay.
to spell it that are like whimsical.
It is
Yeah.
whimsical.
It
I'll
is
give it-
whimsical,
I'll give it
Jason.
whimsy. Looking to move to Arkansas, where can you own a bobcat or a gray fox? Where you can own a bobcat or gray fox. What is your opinion on them as pets? And what do you think of people being able to take wild animals from nature and keep them as pets?
So taking them out of nature and keeping them as pets is generally not a good idea. Though, if they need managed, like deer or something, like I guess I wouldn't have too much of a problem if you could provide a really good home for a deer in a place that's overpopulated with deer. That said, a gray fox or a bobcat, I would like to do videos on some of these animals because these are the kind of animals that you would like to go to a place that has a bobcat and a gray fox, and you would like to spend an afternoon playing with a bobcat and a gray fox. You'd maybe like to do this like every 2 weeks. What you wouldn't really enjoy for most people would be the realities of actually owning a bobcat or a gray fox all the time, because this is a lifestyle. I mean, you know, this isn't even like a tegu or something like that. I mean, you know, Gus is a fun thing that I do sometimes. You know, that I interact with him a few times a week. That's what he needs. A bobcat or a gray fox, it's going to be all the time, and it's going to be not always very positive interactions that you're going to be having, and you got to make sure that's really the life you want to live. It probably isn't. In fact, that's kind of why the reptile room exists, is because not everybody who wants to interact with these animals actually wants to own these animals, and generally speaking, that's the only way you can interact with them, is by owning them. So find a place that'll let you play with their bobcat. There's probably a waiver involved.
All right. Mr. and Mrs. Morelia sent a super chat saying, "We will stop super chatting maybe when Jason holds the vinegar room."
That's the
Is that
spirit.
the answer?
That's the spirit.
All right, let's keep going lightning. The Rainbow Lab Coat sent a super chat saying, "Hey Clint, your video on Urodactyloides inspired me to get my own. I got an
What a cool gecko. Check them out.
Vialiardi, and his name is Colossus.
What an ironic name. I love it. I love it, I love it, I love it. They're so cool. If you don't know what those are, if you want a little gecko that's also really handleable, check out the Urodactyloides geckos. Stinking to the rad.
Let's see.
We'll never catch up.
We'll never get-
Just gonna get a vinegar in just in case.
Oh, jeez. Let's see. JC sent a super chat saying, "Hi from the UK, Clint. Love your content, especially your infectious enthusiasm and how responsibly you educate people. Ka, my carpet python, says hi."
Hi! It's so nice to have you in the house. Who's in the house?
You lost me there. I missed it.
Anybody catch it?
No.
Does anybody know my reference?
I don't think I know this.
I said, who's in the house? JC's in the house.
Oh, jeez. Is that from that Wisdom Tooth?
Yes.
Is that a wisdom tooth commercial?
She's rapping about our man JC.
I'm sure it's a song that can be heard elsewhere.
She's
Okay.
referring to Jesus.
Okay.
Oh, I thought it was about this JC.
Oh, could be. I don't know.
The very one. Evangelium sent a super chat saying, "Hi there. I hear you like Dungeons and Dragons. What do you?
I like dragons. I think dungeons would not be that much fun.
But what do you think about Warhammer 40K?"
Warhammer 40K, I will tell you, I spent a considerable amount of money and a considerable amount of time painting a Warhammer fantasy army because I am just that cool. But I have never played Warhammer of any kind. But my good friend Kevin, he is way into Warhammer fantasy, and my son Owen thinks that's super cool. And so that's pretty much my sign of approval. It's super cool.
Dan E sent a super chat saying, "More for the Vinegaroon."
Vinegaroon.
Aurora
Vinegar.
Exotics, which I think is one of our
She's our mod.
mods today, sent a super chat saying, "I wish I could hold a Vinegaroon right now." You can do it, Jason.
You
All right,
can do
all right.
it,
Here's the
Jason.
deal. It's not out of fear. It's just I have zero desire to do it.
Well, but I know that you like that stuff that can be
stuff.
exchanged for goods and services. And it seems like that would give you some desire.
Yeah, but I don't wanna sell out like Leisha.
Well, I can't believe what Leisha's price is.
Yeah, I know.
She was like, "No way, I'm never holding that." All right, $5.
We love you, Alicia.
I couldn't figure out why she didn't go, "Yeah, I'll just definitely hold it." Like, that was a guarantee. There's no way she was going to end up not. So right now, 500 million? Yay or nay?
Obviously, yay.
Okay.
Listen, I'm willing to do it for free. I just don't have the desire.
Okay, but how much does your desire cost?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
$10?
I have no idea.
$10?
No.
No?
No. That feels like selling out like Leisha.
$15?
All right, we're not doing it. We're not doing it for money. That's not why we're doing it.
What is your desire?
My desire is for this. we gotta stop.
Okay.
is
So
going long.
So
No,
your request is,
No. I have no request. It is time to end the live. show.
have we gotten through all the super chats?
Yes, we have.
Okay. If no one super chats,
Oh my gosh. All right, this is dumb. I'm doing it.
you're doing it?
Yay!
Jason! All right. Take a seat. They won't think it's you.
They'll believe.
That's
it's me.
Michelle's arm. Everybody knows it.
Hi.
Okay. Come on, girl.
All right.
She's like, I know he has no desire for me.
Well,
Where's the desire, Jason? Am I so undesirable?
yes.
You've done it. Okay, face with the vinegar room so they know it's you.
They know it's me.
No stunt double.
Brad Pitt's not here.
You guys are incredible. You guys are incredible. So we haven't missed any. Oh, a super chat. Here's a super chat. Also for Jason.
Attacking Clint's face.
Oh, you're the best. And I saw that on the laptop you sent. No big deal. Well, you guys have been incredible. It's fun to be back. I didn't dream we would go through. Oh,
Another super chat.
Oh my goodness.
Stephanie Stone says, would you consider a dog/cats versus /lizards episode? Too many people don't understand how much cleaner/cheaper/easier, etc. reptiles versus mammals are.
that's a really good idea. We do have a dog versus tegu head-to-head, but we don't have just like a general one. What I would sort of like to do is do a dog or a cat single animal video so we can score them. I'd like to do that a lot. I'd probably prefer to do cats since we've already done something about dogs, and I do need to talk to people about the importance of keeping your cat indoors.
I love that. Thank you.
Well, as always, like and subscribe. Give Jason a big pat on the back. He did it. He has no price. He cannot be bought. He is a man of principle. His desire is only to
I
what?
don't know. Yeah.
He is without desire.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you guys for being here. As always, like and subscribe, and we hope to see you real soon.
Bye.